genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will forever spend its life believing that it's stupid. So today I'm going to talk about trade skill versus college education. My argument is that everybody says we need a college education. I have a college education, and I believe there's a bubble coming from it. We're impressed upon the media so much that we need not a college education. We need to have our general classes. We need to attend a prestigious university. And with that, a lot of millennials are getting to extreme amounts of debt. And what do we get out of it? A piece of paper that's very expensive and pretty. And then our next step is that we go to the workforce. Many of us don't have a lot of the general workforce skills, but we like to go and apply for jobs when we don't have experience, but we have all this debt. So where do we start? Internships that don't pay much, internships that are free. So how do we get around that? My proposal to you is that we vamp up trade skills. And here's my proposal of why. In school, a lot of students are disengaged. A lot of students are taking classes they don't want to. A lot of students are required to take general education classes to make us well-rounded. Yes, that's very important, but to a certain degree. What I'm proposing is that a fish needs to swim in water and a monkey needs to climb a tree. So if you're passionate about something, you should allow those natural passions to grow and develop. You should allow yourself to be creative and think creatively and think outside the box. If you want to be a plumber, go study plumbing. If you want to be a woodsmith, go and be a woodsmith. There's a large rise of trade skill that we're going to need, because many of us, we're educated fools. We're so smart about a lot of things, but do we really know how to generate money and build companies and build wealth for ourselves and pay off our student loan debt? That's a really good question, right? So here's my proposal. When you go into trade work, you can get very specific. You can build your expertise. You can become a master in your field by studying one subject and everything around it that builds into that expertise subject. You can essentially become a contractor, have multiple contracts with multiple business entities, and in essence, build your wealth. Here's how. Multiple streams of income. How stable is that? Multiple streams of income for different contracts of jobs that you have, versus one person giving you one paycheck every 2 weeks. Here's why it's good to follow your passion. Here's why it's good to study a trade skill. And here's why you should go into student loan debt, like I am, for a very beautiful piece of paper. You should follow your passions and dreams and develop yourself and develop expertise. You should build multiple streams of income for yourself. You should believe in yourself. And with this, building trade skills, you vamp up capitalism. Yes, I want to start a company. Yes, I want to be a business influencer. Yes, I don't want to sit by and be passive. And I believe that a lot of us millennial generations were influenced highly by how attractive it is to be in the socialism side, to have things handed to us. What does that teach us? Learned helplessness. We don't go out and get the food. The food comes to us. And there's something completely wrong with that because that's very un-American. The American dream is to follow your passions and take each opportunity you have. Build up your skills, build up your expertise, build up those multiple streams of income. I recently read an article with the Fast Company that talks about how work purpose, and happiness has a positive correlation. These days, a lot of people are on medications for depression because we're being handed stuff. When you're not actively going out and seeking work and finding things that you're passionate about, you get depressed because you're waiting for the food to come to you. There's nothing more thrilling than when you have to go for the chase. That can go romantically and in business. There's nothing more fun than the chase. And here's also why you should follow trade skill and capitalism and build up your businesses. Because this is small government. When people know that they can go and make a fortune by following their passions and attracting the right people in their life, then they can live a more fulfilling life. They can lead a more fulfilling life. They can feel more of a beautiful person. They can be more passionate about people. They can go for the chase. And also, whatever happened to book reading? A lot of us like to watch TV and sit passively. When you're studying your passions and developing your passions and going for trade work, you're studying expertise in things that you like. So you're reading more, you're passionate more, your bookshelf fills up and you don't turn your TV on. That's very important. When you're studying what you're passionate about, you're gonna learn a lot more than if you're paying for general education and you're waiting for things to get passed out to you, and you go into student loan debt studying subjects that are general, that are just gonna make you well-rounded. So, to live a more fulfilling life, vamp up your trade skills, build that company, become passionate about something. Albert Einstein once said, "Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will forever live its life feeling that it's stupid." So go find your trade work, go read a book, and follow your passions. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Danielle. We'll go down the line again with questions.
I think that this is really great and quite frankly something that our society absolutely needs and that our economy is clearly calling out for. What, besides telling people to go follow their passions, what kind of structure do you think that our society needs that would help people identify passions outside of, just the traditional kind of liberal arts education?
So how would students find what they should be passionate about?
Yeah.
I believe that to find out what you're passionate about, you should try a lot of things and you should fail fast. So if you want to be an architect, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a plumber, a woodsmith, a public speaker, you should try everything you can. And energy flows where you want to go. So whatever you feel passionate about, everything will start to come together and build. So what I encourage young people to do is try as many things as they can and be opportunistic and go for the chase and find out what they like and fail fast and find out what they don't like. So being active is definitely the way to go.
Do you think that there's like a societal way that we can move away from this kind of cultural expectation of that liberal arts education / here's your pretty piece of paper and make it a more kind of like culturally acceptable or even culturally desirable thing to be pursuing trade skills over liberal arts education?
So personally, I believe that there's a student loan debt bubble. As you may have seen, years ago, having a bachelor's degree was going to ensure you a good job. But now, today's bachelor's degree is an expensive equivalent to a high school education. And now the master's degree is the new bachelor's degree. And more and more and more expensive education is required. So to fix that, go for a trade school. And, a little flame can start up a huge fire. And just by doing a small tipping point, we can really change things. And eventually, the student loan bubble will burst. And then what will we have? So by beginning a turning point and figuring out what you're passionate about and going for trade skills that actually teach you how to make money in the economy versus having general education, people are going to go that route because money is attractive. We all want to make money. We want to make more money. And when you study how to make money, that's going to help you out a lot further than just being well-rounded so you can answer trivia questions.
So America is the #1 producer of human capital in the world, meaning we are the #1 producer of educations that teach people how to think, how to go into a job and learn on the job, and we see so many more of these trade skill jobs going overseas. So how do you see this sort of initiative fitting into the marketplace in the United States that's increasingly going, what you could say is more white collar?
So keeping jobs in America, per se? Is that your question?
Yeah, so as the market changes in terms of what we need, and the United States And then the United States has more of a competitive advantage in creating human capital, white-collar jobs, people who are educated know how to think. How does this initiative fit in with that into the global market?
Into the global market. So mind jobs versus trade jobs that could be resourced from outside the country.
Yeah, so how do you fit this in? How do we convince people that we need more trade jobs and not more jobs that are creating more human capital?
Well, first of all, I believe that the global economy is important, and it's important to keep connected. However, Americans should stand for America. We should support Americans with American jobs. Start a company that will employ the American people. Yes, it may be a little more expensive, but you're providing food for a family. In America, you're supporting your own kin, you're supporting your people. What happened to being proud to be an American? We do get a bad rap around the country because we are so proud, but we should be, and we should want to be proud of the people in our country. As far as keeping jobs here, using your trade skill to start a company, there's so many innovative ways you can make money. You just have to focus on it. And you can be smart, you can have a degree, and you can find money in that field. But to vamp up trade skills and actually learn how to generate money, you can employ people by figuring it out the smart way. If any of you like to read Wallace D. Wattles, Science of Getting Rich, he always says, if you focus on what you want, it'll come to you. So if we focus on this tipping point of creating more American jobs, we can employ more American people, even white collar or blue collar.
All right, and I like to focus on how to get things like off the ground. And we talk about this, and there's all these like skills out there, whether you need to go to like trade school or go to college. But the thing is, we talk about this a lot, and the fact of the matter is there are a lot of opportunities as it stands right now, but not many people are taking advantage of that. So how are you going to promote this idea right off the bat and get it moving forward and get more people on board and try to get that into the culture of maybe a city or a state? How are you going to get this out there? Because technically it already is, but no one's doing it yet.
Okay, so I believe that people should work harder towards being more opportunistic. Living in America is a huge advantage because there are so many opportunities out there to develop a company, to develop a business, to develop a group, to be on a board, I'm sorry, one more time, what's the question?
Well, how, we talk about this, but how are you going to get more people involved in this idea and spread this idea to get these opportunities out there? Because there are a lot of opportunities right now, but no one's, like you said, no one's really taking advantage of them. How do you get them to take advantage of this and raise the awareness that you can do this on your own?
Okay, so how do we deal with people that aren't being opportunistic, correct?
Correct.
Perfect, okay, so a lot of young people like to have handouts, and that's why Filling the Burner was so popular, because socialism is on that side, and people think it's so attractive because they don't have to go for the chase. However, if you look at a lot of the people emerging, young entrepreneurs that are coming up, they're making a lot of money because they're seeing opportunities. And even if they do, they don't know where to start, and they may fail once, and then they never try again. And the thing is that becoming successful is so hard that a lot of people don't even try. So I believe that if you have read Malcolm Gladwell and The Tipping Point, just a small few efforts, a small fan flame can create a wildfire. If we believe in ourselves, and we believe that we can create opportunities for ourselves and overcome insurmountable failures, if we show that our friends can become successful, they're going to want to join you because money is attractive, success is attractive, and we're here for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Thank you.